game when it gets tough. Don't start forcing and rushing because of the pressure. Execute better. Move the ball better. Screen better. Okay? Help each other out. We've got to take care of the ball, and we got to play with energy.
A sellout crowd tonight at Amway Arena. There are plenty of disappointed Magic fans following their first playoff loss of 2010 in Game 1. But this team has not lost back-to-back home games all season long. As Dwight Howard and the Magic expected to come out with a force tonight for Game 2. But it won't be easy because they're playing a Celtics team operating on all cylinders. 4 straight wins in the postseason now for Boston, including 3 on the road. Good evening, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand. Doris Burke will join us as well. One of the real stories of these playoffs have been the rejuvenated Boston Celtics. They didn't finish the regular season well, and then in Game 3 against the Cavs, they were blown out at home. But boy, oh boy, ever since then, they have been a juggernaut. The 4 straight wins, and really it's all about defense that's reminiscent, Jeff, of that title team in 08.
Right, they were good defensively all year, but they're back to being a special defensive team, which gives them a chance to win a championship.
And of course, it's Prime to Perform defense presented by Gatorade shows those numbers.
Oh, those are big-time numbers, and I'll tell you, if they are to win it all, it's going to be because they got it done at the defensive end, taking away first option. They're making it hard last night. The other night on Orlando, particularly Dwight Howard in the post, when the ball was entered into him, most times you would see help come. But Boston stayed at home on all the three-point shooters and dared Dwight Howard to beat them. If the Magic are to win, he's going to have to come through when he gets those type of opportunities.
Well, Dwight Howard has certainly taken his share of criticisms in Game 1, but he's not the only one, Mark, that has to play better for this Orlando team.
Well, you're right, but this just in. The Orlando Magic will not win this series if Dwight Howard is their best player. Simply put, too limited offensively. You talk about other guys taking pressure off of Dwight Howard. Just 13 points in Game 1. Well, you have to look at Jameer Nelson and Vince Carter. 2 guys that have the ability to create offense. They've got to be in attack mode, whether it be with the basketball or moving without. Putting themselves in position to score. Also pick and roll situations. Jameer Nelson has got to force the issue. Look to score pick and roll situations and find a way to make life easier for Dwight Howard and the rest of the Cavs.
So we're set to go for Game 2 as we look at our starting lineups. First for the visitors, and the road team has not been a problem for this veteran Celtic squad. Paul Pierce, a terrific Game 1, 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists in that victory on Sunday afternoon. Meanwhile, for the Orlando Magic, Jameer Nelson and Vince Carter both doing the scoring, but Howard, Barnes, and Lewis very quiet offensively. Barnes and Lewis just 8 points combined. The 2 starting forwards for Stan Van Gundy. As we're set to go, and it'll be interesting to see the first quarter because that's where Boston came out with a flourish in that opening period of Game 1. Magic really struggled. The Celtics were in rhythm and just pounded them, went up by as many as 20. Magic made that run in the fourth quarter. Boston had given themselves a huge lead to withstand any kind of run. The crowd fired up. Boy, were they quiet after the loss. Again, their first home loss in almost 2 months was Sunday. Last time they lost back-to-back home games was Games 4 and 5 of the NBA Finals against the Lakers. Pierce right away scores the first bucket.
That's a big-time shot, but that's very good defense by Vince Carter right there. You can't do anything better than he just did.
Carter is on Pierce. Barnes is on Ray Allen. Nelson kicks it out. Carter did a good job attacking in Game 1. Attacks there. And unable to get it to go. Last touch by Howard.
And you look at that first possession, pick and roll Jameer Nelson. I thought the first time all series, Dwight Howard was able to roll to the paint with not a green jersey on him.
And I thought that could have and should have been a lob right up to the rim.
Stan Van Gundy talking about Game 1, said lack of energy and effort was key. He does not expect that. One of the things he said about his team all year, they bring it every night. As Pierce's foul on his way to the basket goes down.
And to me, this is the way that Dwight Howard's going to have to get off in this series. Pick and roll, has the ability to float. Nobody on him. You have to deliver the basketball on point or throw it to the rim and allow him to do his damage that way.
So Pierce quickly to the free throw line. Whereas Stan Van Gundy did not like his team's energy in game one. That's what Doc Rivers loved the most. He didn't feel his team played their best basketball, but they played with such a force that it forced the Magic to come from behind right from the get-go. When Orlando scored just 14 points in the first period of game one. And you look at the success that these Celtics have had on the road. Again, they've won 3 straight, games 2 and 5 in Cleveland, game 1 in Orlando. What's been the key to their road success, Jeff?
Well, they're a very well-balanced team as Jameer Nelson penetrates and does just what Mark said he had to do, which is go at the basket and create plays.
Perkins called for a travel.
But to get back to your point, Mike, I think what they did well was they're a well-balanced team. They're offensively efficient. The only thing that gets in the way of their offense is turnovers. And then defensively, they have the length, the intensity, and the scheme to be the best defensive team in the NBA in the playoffs.
They clean up a wet spot that Jameer Nelson pointed out. Nelson had a slow start to game one, but played well in the second half and finished with 20 points, 9 rebounds as well. Carter hits the jumper.
Exactly what we talked about. Those are the two guys that's going to have to get off offensively, and they have to be in attack mode all night long.
Carter knocked it away, gets it back. Layup won't go. Nelson on the offensive board. Nice pass to Barnes. Poked away by Pierce. Barnes again will try it. That won't go. Howard knocks away. And Harley heard the whistle, but there was one called, and it's in the act of shooting. So the Magic will shoot free throws. Ray Allen picks up his first.
A good job chasing down loose basketballs that they were not able to get in game one. There's a lot of contact right there as Matt Barnes tries to go to the basket 2 or 3 times.
Right, but that no call on Vince Carter was the right no call. And this is where the Magic, to me, have to manage their frustration. If you miss with limited contact, you cannot look to somebody else like an official. And Boston has the same issue sometimes. You've got to be able to play through it. Either make, or if you do get hit, make sure it's a credible foul that you're complaining about.
And especially you play against a Boston Celtic team, you know coming in, especially the front court, they're going to bang you, they're going to foul you, they're going to make you earn your points.
And this is playoff basketball. The mentality should be, okay, I'm going to make sure you're going to call something next time. I'm going through him, and I'm going to dunk.
Rondo's setting it up. Allen to Perkins. Good ball movement. Pierce, little head fake, and hits a 3. Paul Pierce was 6 of 8 in game one. He'd been struggling in the playoffs from the field for much of the postseason, but he's off to a terrific start here in game 2.
And that play was all set up by Ray Allen's pass to Kendrick Perkins.
Perkins, the block shot. Barnes nearly stole it. Perkins is second in the playoffs behind Dwight Howard in shot blocking. Pierce will try again. 3 for 3 is Paul Pierce. And he has all 9 Celtic points.
Now, I played with a lot of great players, and this was moments that they live for. On the road, pressure games, looking to attack.
Carter attacks there, draws the foul, and a chance for a 3-point play. He has not settled for jumpers so far in games 1 and here to start game 2.
And he talked about it. This was what he was coming in to do. Put the ball on the floor and make plays. That time, pick and roll, gets to the cup. That's easy offense. What that's going to allow him to do is open up opportunities for the other guys on the floor because of his aggressiveness.
Carter in his first year after being acquired from New Jersey had a good solid regular season, averaged just under 17 a game, but these are the games they acquired him for.
And I like what Jameer Nelson's doing, playing with more energy, getting the ball up quicker versus thinking about what play to call.
Garnett has it stripped. Barnes poked it away first. Lweis ahead to Barnes. Barnes up and throws it down. And the Magic have their first lead of the series. They trail the entire game 1. And there's no question you see a different Magic team to start than what you saw Sunday afternoon. Garnett gets the offensive board again, poked away by Carter.
And you got to love that. Other guys engaging to go after the rebound. So Carter deflects the rebound, not able to get it, but the effort keeps the ball alive.
Howard. Garnett on him. Jameer Nelson on the drive, flips it up, won't go. Ball kept alive and the Celtics come away. Rondo knocked away again, but the ball goes right to Perkins. Barnes made a nice play, but Perkins hustled as the trailer picked it up. Howard against Perkins, who has always played him well. They strip him again. Rondo sidesteps, blocked by Howard, but a foul. And free throws for Rajon Rondo. The foul is on Jameer Nelson.
I would much rather see what we watched Kevin Garnett do. Kick the ball out and set a quick screen. But I love the fact that he did not complain, got back on the defensive end, and blocked the layup attempt of Rondo.
Again, you see a different effort to start. Your brother Stanjeff said after watching the film, he saw two teams in two different speeds to start the game. You know, they're both playing at a pretty high speed right now to start game two, and you expected that from Orlando. For Boston, meanwhile, they have to know that and weather that first hit.
Well, and also, they're playing for something significant. They're thinking about winning a championship, and if you do that, you don't give away games by not being ready to play. To say after the game, as multiple Magic players did, that this was a wake-up call, my first thought was, are you kidding me? Do you not know who you're playing and what you're playing for?
One of the great sports cliches of our time. Lob to Howard. A little too high. And I've not seen them been able to even attempt that so far. Rondo, pretty move from Rajon Rondo.
That's a heck of a move by Rondo, but that's bad defense by the Magic. Three guys in the paint area allowing him to get all the way to the cup.
And Stan Van Gundy calls timeout. Boston, they've hit 5 of their first 6 shots from the field. And after briefly trailing, back up by 4.
Rondo on the offensive end in transition. Take him to the streets. Sees white jerseys, but it does not matter. Excuse me, I'm getting to the cup.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Brought to you by Canon. See beyond the still with the new EOS Rebel T2i. And the Sierra from GMC. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job.